1917, the discovery of a Zimmermann telegram, a proposal from Germany to Mexico for the two countries to form an alliance and wage war against the U.S., Mexico turned it down, angered the Americans. On April 2nd, 1917, the U.S. declared war on Germany and joined World War I. The Russian Revolution and the closing of the Eastern Front. The U.S. actually entered the war at the perfect time. Russia had recently bowed out of combat. In March 1917, Russia's terrible wartime condition led to strike and demonstrations in its capital, then called Petrograd and now called St. Petersburg. Tsar Nicholas II abdicated to give up power, and his army, composed mostly of peasants, joined the side of the protesters. The Tsar and his whole family were later executed. In October 1917, a violent revolutionary group called the Bolshevik, led by Vladimir Lenin, seized power and demanded a government by and for the workers and peasants. Vladimir Lenin established the first communist government in the world, based on the idea in Karl Marx's Communist Manifesto. Many upper-class citizens opposed this new communist government. The communist government replaced 300 years of Tsarist rule by the Romanov family. Russia needed to concentrate on the revolution happening on the home front, so Russia signed the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk, which ceded much of its territory to the Central Power. This closed the fighting on the Eastern Front, and Germany was now confident that it would win the war. Ceded in 1918, Eastern Front, Russia, German, Austria-Hungary, Bulgaria, Western Front. The 14 joins. In January 8, 1918, before the war ended, President Wilson justified why the U.S. had gone to war and gave a set of goals. He also informed Congress that this was the war to end world wars, and had made a plan to prevent another major war. The plan became known as the 14 Points, which stipulated 1. No secret treaty alliance. 2. Freedom of navigation on the seas. 3. Equality of trade. 4. Smaller militaries. 5. An adjustment of colonial claims. 6. The evacuation and restoration of Russian territory. 7. The evacuation and restoration of Belgian territory. 8. The evacuation and restoration of French territory. And 9. The adjustment of Italian borders. 10. Autonomy for the people of the former Austria-Hungarian Empire. Autonomy, self-government. 11. The evacuation and restoration of Balkan Peninsula, Romania, Serbia, and Montenegro. 12. Autonomy for Ottoman territory. 13. The establishment of an independent Poland. 14. A League of Nations, an organization of countries working together to resolve disputes. Over there, the arrival of American soldiers and material stopped the Germans from advancing in the Second Battle of the Marne. The Meuse-Agnon offensive, fought from September through November 1918, marked the final phase of World War I. On November 11, 1918, following Austria-Hungary's exit from the war, the Germans agreed to sign a armistice. Armistice, a temporary end to hostilities between warring parties, a ceasefire agreement. Peace sign. The cost of war. The war had ravaged Europe and devastated the entire generation of European men. Historian best guess is that 37 million were killed or wounded in 4 years of fighting. With no working farms or factories, the European economy was devastated as well. In 1918, a flu pandemic called Spanish flu broke out. It was an extremely contagious strain of influenza that spread around the globe, killing more people than had died during the war. The world was ready for peace. Pandemic. An epidemic or widespread disease that affect an entire country or continent or even the entire world. 3% to 5% of the entire world's population. Peace. In 1918, both Kaiser William II of Germany and Emperor Karl of Austria stepped down from their throne, and in 1919, Germany signed the Treaty of Versailles. It forced Germany to accept sole responsibility for the war, give up foreign colonies, and return Alsace-Lorraine to France, and pay heavy reparations, compensation, usually in the form of money, to someone who had been wronged. To other countries, Germany was also supposed to reduce the size of its army and navy and eliminate its air force. New German border. Demilitarized zone. Belgium, France, Alsace-Lorraine, Rhine River, East Prussia, Thuringia, Poland, League of Nations. Land ceded to other nations. An area of German land along the Rhine River was turned over to occupation by the Allies and declared demilitarized in order to prevent German aggression against France. Demilitarize, the deprive of weapons of fortification, prevent German aggression against France. The Germans were humiliated by the terms of the treaty, but had no choice but to accept them. The Treaty of Versailles also created an international organization called the League of Nations, like an early form of the UN. It was proposed by US President Woodrow Wilson in the hope of preventing future wars, promoting democracy, and keeping the peace. But it was also opposed by Congress, so the US never joined. The League turned out to be mostly ineffective anyway. Starvation, poverty, and unemployment plagued trouble further Europe and set the stage for a Second World War. World War I, June 28, 1914. Archduke Franz Ferdinand and Austria-Hungary and his wife Sophie are assassinated in Bosnia by guerrilla Prince, Serbian nationalist. July 28, 1914. Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia in reaction of the Archduke's assassination. August 1914. Through a complicated web of alliance, World War I began. September 1914. A German invasion of France is stopped at the First Battle of the Man. October 1914. The Triple Entente used the trench warfare to hold off the Germans in the First Battle of Yard. April, May 1915. During the Second Battle of the Yard, German forces successfully used poison gas on Allied troops. The death toll forced the Allied army to withdraw. May 7th, 1915. This Tanya, a British passenger ship, is torpedoed by a German U-boat submarine. Over 1,000 people died. June, November 1916. The Battle of the Somme claimed the lives of more than 400,000 British soldiers, around 200,000 French soldiers, and anywhere from 460,000 to 650,000 German soldiers. The British are able to advance only 6 miles. April 1917. The U.S. declares war on Germany in reaction to Germany's declaration to use unrestricted U-boat attack again. October 1917. The Bolsheviki in Russia successfully take over the Russian government and withdraw from the war. November 1918. Hungary declared independence from Austria, and Czechia take Prague to form Czechoslovakia. November 1918. Both Kaiser Wilhelm II of Germany and Emperor Karl of Austria abdicate their throne. November 11th, 1918. Germany signed the Armistice Agreement. February 1919. The proposed constitution for the League of Nations is announced. June 28, 1919. Germany and Allies signed the Treaty of Versailles. World War I on the Western Front is officially over.